Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Wednesday, and that means tonight was AEW Dynamite, and boy, was this an interesting show. Boy, was this show. Oh man, we got a lot to talk about. I'm just going to say it right here. I'm just going to say it. It's a shit show from multiple different standards. This show, and not just them showing the CM Punk stuff, this show felt like it was just all over the place. Like it had half structure. Like there were some things that I guess made a little sense, but it's like, okay, so they show the CM Punk footage. What does that do? Oh, it gets the crowd to chant CM Punk. Then Will Ospreay goes out here and talks shit on Triple H. So Renee Young's got to look all awkward there. And then, oh, what does WWE do? They have a Rhodes wrestle a world champion Samoan named Joe. And so AEW has a Rhodes wrestle a world champion Samoa named Joe 4 days later, 3 days later. Like, come on. Come on. So, yeah, we got a lot to talk about. We'll dive into all of it. I will say right now, and I know people say this all the time, and it's kind of overplayed and overdone. If this wasn't my job, I would have turned the show off after the Will Ospreay segment, because I was just like, I'm over this bullshit. But we got Luke over here with us as well. Luke, what do you think of tonight's AEW Dynamite?
Honestly, I was kind of bored throughout this show. Like, honestly, this whole show was basically built around just taking jabs at Punk and Triple H.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know what Will Ospreay was talking about, I went and pulled the clip from the Pat McAfee show last Friday where Triple H actually talked about, and I'll go into more depth here once we get reviewing the show and everything, but he talked about how, wrestlers not wanting to grind. They want to be a wrestler, but then they go where they get the easier schedule. That's what Triple H said. So I'll talk about it and give more context on that once we get to it. But if you haven't seen it, I did post the clip on the PWU Unlimited Twitter. You can go over there and check it out. It's like a 2-minute clip or whatever. So, yeah, a lot to talk about. So before we get into all that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for 4 games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I greatly appreciate it if you did right here for Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember to help us out over on YouTube as well. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live or post things to the community tab. Hit that join button to become a channel member and support the channel that way. And also, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, do so by donating a super chat. Finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're buying a new game, whether you're buying an old game, whether you're claiming the free games or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at checkout, and you will be supporting us at no extra cost. I know Disney Speedstorm, the new Wreck-It Ralph season's coming out soon, so go download Disney Speedstorm for free from the Epic Game Store, and when you download it, use this code, PWU NLIMITED. So with all of that, go back here. We got AEW Dynamite to talk about. So the show opens up, and my first thought was, are they going to do it? Are they going to open the show with the footage, with the Young Bucks? And my thought was, they either open or they close. And no, they showed this half hour in. What they did open with, supposedly, I guess, was Samoa Joe. So the show opens up, they welcome us to the show and this and that, and out comes Samoa Joe. Mojo to face Dustin Rhodes. And so as Joe's making his way out to the ring, he gets attacked from behind by Swerve. Swerve attacks. They start fighting all over. They're fighting off the side of the stage. Strickland then sidestepped and tackled Joe through a table. Security and officials pulled Strickland away, and Joe left, stumbling to the back. Excalibur's like, oh, we got to pivot. Here's some footage of what happened last week with Best Friends. So they show the stuff with Trent Beretta turning on Orange Cassidy, Chris Statlander confronting him, being like, hey, those are your best friends. That was your mom that you disrespected. What's going on? And this and that. And then they come back, and Excalibur's like, so we still don't know exactly what's going on right now. We're supposed to have this match, but we're going to pivot. Hey, TNT title is on the line. Let's take it there. Penta versus Adam Copeland. So the show ends up, first match of the night is a TNT title on the line. Adam Copeland versus Penta El Zero Miedo. I thought this match was so much fun. I really enjoyed this match. I thought this was a really, really, really good match to open up the show. I don't know why. I mean, I get it, I guess. I don't know why we needed the whole, they're going to swerve us with Swerve and be like, oh, is the match not happening anymore with Joe and Dustin? No, it happened. And then what happened after that? Oh, Swerve just comes and attacks again. So it's like, why do we need it at the beginning of the show if you're going to do the exact same thing basically at the end of the show? I don't know. But again, I really liked this match. I thought this was really, really good. And they did a couple things during the match I want to bring up. Give me 1 second to pull this up on the screen. I don't know what the hell they were doing here with this. You might know what I'm about to get to. There are some squiggly lines and stuff on the screen. And I get it. WWE does this with Pat McAfee, the Patastrator, as Michael Cole likes to call it.
You mean like the play-by-play thing?
The Telestrator thing. This was just weird because, and I don't have the clip. I can't just play the clip here. So this is on the screen when they come back from a commercial, right? But it's weird because this pops up on the screen. It fades. It's there, and then it fades off really quickly. So I don't know if this was supposed to be on the screen, if it's actual Telestrator, and they were playing around like they do with Pat McAfee on Raw. But yeah, very weird. And then they also had this image on the screen. We pulled this one up during the match as well. They did a countdown. It was like, oh, 20 minutes till the Bucks. Because they told us, this match had a 30-minute time limit because it was a title match and whatnot. And so they were like, in 20 minutes, the Bucks will come on and they'll do their thing. So they gave us that countdown. And I saw a lot of people comparing it to WWE and when they used to do the Cody countdown stuff on Raw. But as far as this match does go, there's some trash talking from Penta early on. There's a spear that connected and got a 2. Penta followed this up with the top rope double stomp for a near fall. Copeland spun out of a fear factor, but ran into a super kick and clothesline to the floor. Copeland dodged a dive as the match reset back inside the ring with Penta tattooing Copeland with chops as we go to commercial break. We come back from the break and Penta was in the driver's seat when they returned. Copeland delivered an old school flying head scissors, which looked really, really cool. Never seen him do something. I mean, we probably have back in the day seen him do a move like this, but I don't remember the last time I saw Copeland do a head scissors like this. This was nuts. Anyways, Copeland then took Penta down and kept the like grapevine and the scissors connected. So he was trying to choke out Penta with his legs. Penta did escape and hit a pump fake kick to the head. There was a series of leapfrogs from Copeland as each man traded tilt-a-whirl head scissors before colliding with 3 clotheslines in succession. There's a double down spot here. Both men then slugged it out to their knees as the countdown clock, as we talked about earlier, showed 19 minutes remaining till the Young Bucks come out. And I saw some people online going, oh, so they're telling us this match is only going X amount of minutes. This match will be over before that. Well, no shit. In AEW, they actually have time limits for their matches. They say this match has a 30-minute time limit, da-da-da-da-da. So that made sense to say, hey, at this time, you will get the Young Bucks, because at least in AEW, they do the time limit stuff. So I saw some people complaining about it, saying, oh, they basically told us how long or short this match is going to go. No, they always, yeah, whatever. Penta then connected on a sling blade and sent Copeland to the floor. He followed it up with a somersault dive. Copeland then hit the 10 count punches as Penta sent Copeland up over on the edge of the apron and punted him in the neck. We then go to a commercial break, and when we come back, Penta, who controlled all the break, delivered a cornerback stabber for a 2. Penta then went for it again, only this time for Copeland to counter with an electric chair facebuster. Copeland locked on an educator, reverse sharpshooter, and transitioned it to an ankle lock, but Penta escaped. Penta wanted to go for the arm breaker, but Copeland reversed it into a crossface. Penta then got to the ropes, tried a sharpshooter on the apron, and Copeland cut him off. Both tried home run shots on the apron, but it was ultimately Copeland, this was wild, who delivered a gnarly-looking power slam on the edge of the ring. This move looked so crazy. Copeland then wanted to go for a spear on the floor, but instead, he hit the spear, but not to Penta. Instead, he speared Abrahantes. This then led to Taz kind of laughing a little bit as they go back into the ring. Both men then fought on the ropes as Penta hit an avalanche code red for a very close 2. Penta quickly snapped the arm back, but again, Copeland kicked out. There's a fear factor attempt as Copeland spun out of it as Penta tried a springboard, but leapt back into a spear. And Copeland hit that spear, picked up the victory, and there we go. So before we get to the post-match stuff, what did you think of the actual match between Penta and Copeland for the TNT title?
I mean, the match was decent, but like a lot of the stuff that was happening like during the match, like the teleprompt thing, kind of made it like a little distracting, and
I can see that.
And like that kind of stuff just made it mess a little bit.
Yeah, I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun opening match. Good way to open the show.
Good way to open the show, but like the stuff that they were like doing, like during the match, like not like Penta and Copeland,
right?
Kind of made it like very distracting and stuff.
And I get where you're coming from because commentary kept going. You know, we're gonna hear from the Young Bucks soon. We're gonna hear from the Young Bucks soon. So I bet you a lot of people were hearing that and going, "All right, how much longer? Just get this match over with." Or we're only here to see that one thing. So I could see people being distracted, not caring about the match, just going, oh, they told us it's next? Okay, just hurry up and get to it. Then we got a post-match segment where the lights go out after the match. Lights come back on, and the TBS champion, Julia Hart, is there, standing in front of the TNT champion, Adam Copeland. Julia Hart's there, and Brody King is there as well, as King attacks Copeland from behind and runs him down into the corner. King choked out Copeland as Hart was going for the mist when out would run Willow Nightingale, and she tackled Julia Hart. She took the mist to the face. King then pulled Hart away as Copeland sent King packing over the top rope, and the two House of Black members retreated. So not much there. Later, we lined out that it's setting up a mixed tag. When was that? Next week on Dynamite, or is that Collision? Next week on Dynamite, right? The mixed tag?
Yes, it's the last Dynamite before Dynasty.
Okay, gotcha. Because Copeland works both Collision and Dynamite, so I didn't hear when they said the match was. I just know they set up the match. So Renee's backstage. She's with Jericho, Hook, and Shibata. The 3 men will be in a trios match later tonight against the Shane Taylor Promotions. Jericho said that Hook brought Shibata in on his own, which means he's learning from Jericho. That tonight, they both can sit under the learning tree of Chris Jericho. And then he's just like, so we're going to start this match off, and I'm going to do this and that, and da-da-da. I'm going to go after a go-go, and then I'm going to get you in there, Hook, and you're going to take out this person. And then Shibata can do this. Da-da-da. I'm like, this man just giving away the whole playbook. What the hell, dumb Jericho? And Jericho walks off, and Shibata, who doesn't really speak English, does the thing where he types it into the phone, and then the phone reads it out. He's like, what's his deal? And Hook's like, don't worry about it. We're good. And then he goes back to the phone really fast, and he looks at Renee, and he's like, I like your necklace. And she's like, thank you. And I'm like, okay, that was funny. Whatever. So then a segment happens. Oh boy. Well, actually, no. I'm missing something here. There was the segment where they set up the mixed tag first. That was first. The segment where they set up the mixed tag. I take that back. Renee's backstage with Mark Briscoe, Eddie Kingston, Willow, Edge, or Adam Copeland, and I think Stokely was there too. Basically, it's weird that Eddie Kingston's just all cool with Mark Briscoe, even though Mark Briscoe took his title from him like 4 days ago. No, almost a week ago now. It's just like, yeah, we had a dog fight. You're the new champ. And he's not even like, I want my belt back or anything like that. He's just like, whatever. Like, come on. What? Hey, Kingston don't even care that he lost one of his titles. Granted, he's still got that New Japan belt, so Copeland comes up and he's like, I saw your guys' dog fight. That was great, and this and that, and da-da-da. And then Willow's like, you know what we should do? We should team up and fight both of them. And yeah, it was all weird, but basically it's set up a mixed tag. Willow and Copeland against Julia Hart and Brody King.
I think with the Kingston stuff, when he was saying, like, you know, it still kind of bothered me, but I'll get over it. Maybe it'll eventually lead to him just like turning heel on Mark Briscoe.
I don't know, because he's still got to play babyface for New Japan because he's got that strong belt and he's, you know, doing stuff there. So I don't know.
Well, I mean,
maybe
he can drop the strong belt like soon.
Well, I know they have their Chicago show coming up, and he's not defending it on that show. He's in like a 8-man street fight or something like that. But I don't know when he's defending that title next either.
Maybe he loses it on Dynamite or something.
Maybe
you lose it to like Shibata or someone.
But now we go to the segment. We go to the CM Punk footage.
This was a mess.
Yeah. So Nicholas and Matthew Jackson
like before that, like when they were saying like let's go to the Young Bucks, you can tell like everyone on commentary looked so embarrassed.
Oh yeah. Give me 1 second.
Like Shivani looked pissed.
Oh, even more after they showed it. All right, let's see if that works. There was slight connection issues, but nothing wrong. I just lowered the quality a little bit to see if that helps. So we go to the back. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson are there. They said the TV audience is ready to see the footage, but not before context. Nicholas said Dynasty is coming up, and it's FTR versus the Young Bucks, which got them to think about the wounds from All In London. So this is the perfect time to talk about all of that and what went down. The biggest show in the company's history, as a lot of critics said whoever won that match would be the greatest tag team of the generation. Matthew said before their match, an incident occurred backstage between a scapegoat, the lovable kid, Jack Perry, who reminded them a lot of them at his age, and the other individual who tried to make it all about himself, someone who was friends with FTR. Nicholas wondered if FTR were the masterminds of the entire situation, which Matthew said they couldn't say, as that's unprofessional. There was a cut, and Matthew said the incident put the locker room in dismay, as they didn't have time to prepare for their match, not even time to pray. He said if you ask anybody in the room, there should be an asterisk next to FTR's win there, because they didn't even get a chance to warm up or even hydrate before that match. They had to do their jobs as EVPs. Matthew said that the footage is short, and it's similar to a high school scrap. However, the ramifications were anything but, as it threatened to bring down the biggest show of all time. They then roll the tape. Now, there's no audio here. I saw so many people on Twitter going, oh, why didn't they play no audio? Why is there no sound? Because it's a goddamn security camera. It ain't a camera that AEW set up. And not all security cameras don't have, like, there are security cameras you could buy with audio, but a lot of times in venues and stuff like this, you're going to get a security camera with no audio. Anyways, they roll the footage. You see Jack Perry backstage, and CM Punk walks up. You can see Samoa Joe off to the side, kind of like ready, waiting for his turn to go out for the match with him and CM Punk. And so Punk walks up to Jack, and he's talking to Jack, and Jack's just standing there kind of like pulling his hair back, and he's coming down from his match and everything. And then eventually Punk shoves Perry, and then grabs Perry and puts him in like a guillotine. Joe immediately steps in, and he pulls Jack Perry aside. Hook is standing there kind of just looking on like, what the heck? And then eventually he walks over to like see if Jack's okay and everything. We then see Chris Hero come around from, I guess you could say, where the production table was, where I assume Tony Khan was sitting. So he comes around from over there, and he's looking all kinds of disheveled. Jerry Lynn is there to pull CM Punk away. And that's all the footage is. It just shows CM Punk shoved Jack Perry, and put him in a guillotine, and Samoa Joe immediately broke everything up. And what did CM Punk say on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani? He said that Jack did the thing of the Crimea River. He then asked Jack if he had a problem. Jack told him do something about it. And then Punk said, I never punched anybody, but I did try to choke him out a little bit, which Punk shows in the footage. He did not punch or slap or anything like that. He shoved Jack Perry and then put him in a guillotine, a chokehold, like he said. So, yeah, Malachi Black was even there to like pull Punk away or whatever. And so they go back to the Bucks. Matthew said that wasn't the worst of it. The worst was filling a building for such a great wrestling show and losing on that night. Matthew said FTR had the balls to shake their hands, which they won't do at Dynasty. Nicholas storms off while Matthew shows that he's wearing a Scapegoat T-shirt. So I assume this might lead to Jack Perry coming back and joining the Elite. But before we get into FTR's promo, what did you think of all this from the Bucks and the footage and whatnot?
I will say it was kind of unprofessional that they were showing this in the first place. I was like, why are they even doing this? And I feel like it just made AEW look pretty bad even showing it.
That seems like the going consensus on Twitter, is that most people were like, yeah, we didn't need to see this. Because going into it, no one knew exactly what we were going to see. And most people thought if they're going to show this, then it's probably going to make Punk look really bad. And it didn't at all. To be completely honest, I saw more people on Twitter going, Punk's kind of a badass than anything. Or, oh, well, this made the company look petty. And speaking of petty, the Young Bucks have a joint Twitter account, and that Twitter account sent out a tweet that said, EV petty. So, yeah.
Honestly, it kind of just made Punk, like, it honestly just gave Punk more praise because he just said the truth, and it just showed you that he told the truth and didn't lie about anything.
For the most part, yes. Now, I do and don't want WWE to respond. How freaking, well, how great would this be? Because, and there's only one person I want to use this as fire and fuel, and that's Drew McIntyre. Because I think Drew McIntyre can make something great out of this with his CM Punk feud, where he can, all he needs to do is be like, oh, I saw a video, Punk really is an asshole. Or, oh, I saw a video, Punk really is a prick. What have I been saying? That's all he needs to do, like on Twitter, or cut a promo where he's like, Punk's such a prick. He screwed me last week, and then we saw a video of him being a prick somewhere else.
You know who else could do something funny with this?
Who?
Grayson Waller.
Well, yeah, he teased us thing about this earlier as well.
But him and Austin Theory could be like, we're going to show you backstage footage of me and Austin Theory beating up some of the talent backstage to show how dominant we are.
So, like, I want them to maybe use this for the CM Punk Drew McIntyre stuff, but I don't want them to overuse it. I want them to, like, quickly reference it, and that's it. Like a 2-liner, 3 lines, 10, 20 seconds, that's about it. They don't need to, like, fully go into anything or anyone or whatnot. But I think if they just, like, briefly mention it and have McIntyre do it of all people, I think that'd be funny. Or Punk just being like, oh, I heard people were talking about me again. They showed a video. I don't know.
Dang, I forgot what I was going to say.
Well, so
wait,
go for
actually,
it. I got to pull this up on the screen, so go for it.
Well, that's kind of the thing with WWE, because like they don't really like overuse like jabs at AEW. They only do like every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
So I can totally just see them just avoiding this, just to make them see like we're not that petty. This isn't a big deal to us, so we're just gonna avoid it.
So this is what CM Punk posted on his Instagram about 5-10 minutes after. Well, let me see. So this is 6:34 p.m. AEW posted the video at what time, or showed that aired on hold on. I'm trying to see how much after. So this was around about 30 minutes later or so. But this was CM Punk's reaction to them airing that footage. I'm going to pull it up here on the screen. CM Punk posted this less than 30 minutes later on his Instagram. It says, mission accomplished, and it's George W. Bush with a thumbs up. So, yeah, mission accomplished.
Honestly, it was just Punk just saying, I'm right.
Basically. Oh, another video got pulled down as well. So, Ariel Helwani, if you guys didn't see, posted a video where it's Punk talking about the incident and then the video of the incident. AEW had that video taken down. Well, then there was somebody there live in the building that filmed the whole thing and got the live crowd reaction to them showing the video. That's been pulled down as well by AEW.
I'm sure they'll probably get re-uploaded or something.
Somewhere probably, yeah.
Or more people. I'm sure like more than one person got like live footage of like the crowd and stuff, and it'll still be up there.
Well, that, and then I bet you before it got pulled down, people saved it off of Twitter so they can repost it or whatever. So it's all there. Yeah. So FTR then stormed the ring. They asked what the Bucks hope to accomplish with all of that, and that's what everybody on Twitter was asking. What the hell were you looking to accomplish with all that? Wheeler said that he's sick and tired of all this, as everyone wants to move on. Why are we talking about the past? Exactly, guy. He said instead of showing the talent doing their best work ever, we get footage from 8 months ago. Thanks to Rod and Todd Flanders. I laughed so hard, especially because Cash was wearing a Simpsons shirt. Wheeler said that he's sick of the Bucks being petty little bitches. Harwood said that's what EVPs are. He said without them, AEW wouldn't exist, though, and folks would be without jobs. Harwood says that he kind of agrees, as without the Bucks, he may be shaving Wheeler's back. Well, that was a shot at WWE there. You remember that segment where they were shaving each other's back? Yep.
Uso saw them shaving each other's backs. Well, I know, like, they always make, like, references to that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it was Dax. I think it was Dax that was saying, like, a few years ago, I was shaving this guy's back, and now I'm in AEW, and now I'm, like, succeeding all over.
Yep. He said what makes the Bucks sick is FTR has eclipsed them as the best team on the planet. At one time, the Bucks cared about AEW. But whether it's greed, they lost that, and they only care about themselves now. Harwood said that on the backs of every single man and woman who want to be there, they will build things on their backs. Not just for them, but for the future of professional wrestling. So it gives people a decision on where fans decide to spend their money. If the Bucks don't want to be part of AEW, grab your ball. FTR, well, they can take it. Harwood said that it isn't about Wembley or All In anymore. This is about the AEW World Tag Team Championships, the Dynasty. 2 teams will walk in, but 1 will walk out. For the first time ever, 3-time tag team champions. The Bucks might have built the foundation, but FTR will build the roof and have no issue blowing it off. Top guys out. So yeah, what do you think of FTR's full comments here?
I mean, they're not wrong.
No, not at all.
Like, they were just kind of speaking the truth, honestly. They're trying to speak the truth, but, like, almost like in a scripted way so they wouldn't get in trouble, kind of.
Mm-hmm. So
but yeah, I wonder how like other talent are going to react in the next few days of how this was handled.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see the fallout between now and Friday, because I say Friday because that's the next WWE show. Again, and maybe Monday because Punk's a Monday guy. But I don't know if WWE would even react, to be honest. So then there's more WWE's pissed us off stuff. We get a video package. Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay, as Renee Paquette is shown on the stage and welcomes Will Ospreay. She says, "Let me bring out my guest, Will Ospreay." Ospreay comes out. He's all hyped up. He's like, "Yeah, let's go!" And they do the thing where the crowd's behind them and whatnot. And Ospreay said that Tony Khan told him he's got 5 minutes to talk, as TV is expensive. Ospreay said that there's a rumor going around that, well, he's afraid to grind. Ospreay says he does the grind every single week, 10-hour flights from the UK to America and back to deliver the best pro wrestling matches in the world. And then the crowd kind of goes, yeah, you'll see. They know what I'm talking about. Then he says the line basically that everybody has always said over the years when they try to take jabs at Triple H. He says normally he wouldn't be baited into this kind of stuff. But since who said it is in a position only because he grinded on the boss's daughter. Well,
it's not the first time we heard that joke. I mean,
no.
come on.
He said,
think of something. Like, I'm going to say this right now. If
Go
you're going
for
to
it.
take
Go
jabs
for
at someone, if you're going to take jabs at someone, try to think of your own stuff. Don't try to repeat like stuff that other people said like so many times
for the last 15 to 20 years.
Right.
He's like, don't throw stones at an assassin with a machine gun. I was like, oh, okay.
What is he, like threatening to kill Triple H or something? I mean, come on.
No, he's probably just like, oh, you want to talk crap? Well, I'll go out there and have better matches than all your wrestlers. Kind of like that. Where it's like, okay, so what? You're going to go out there and have 5-star matches? And I like Dave Meltzer. I've met Dave a couple of times or anything. But it's getting so overdone of the whole 5-star match this, 5-star match that, where it's like it's one guy's opinion. Again, I like Dave. I've met him a couple of times. I've had some conversations with him at New Japan shows that we've both been at and working his media and so forth. And the whole thing, it's just like, I don't understand why so many people get so distraught over Dave's star ratings. It's one person's opinion. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. Everyone can like what they like and not like what they don't like. Everybody can say that was a 5-star match. That wasn't a 5-star match. That's a 4-star match. That's a 3-star match. I just don't understand why everyone gets so up in arms over one person's opinion. If we're going to get up in arms over star ratings, then go to Cage Match and see how many people are rating certain matches and then go from there. When you've got multiple people, when you go to Cage Match and it's like, this match has got 4.5 stars from 10 different reviews. Okay, that's different. That's multiple people giving their opinions. But when you're getting so up in arms about one person, it's like, I don't understand it. Again, nothing against Dave. I like Dave. Met him a couple times. We've been in different shows together and whatnot and so forth. And yeah, but it's just, I don't know. Then he finally go for it.
I think more people are just distraught about it because of how many 5-star matches he gives AEW, and people are like really? I think that's why people are distraught about it.
People think he's biased. I get it.
Like, I understand that actually. Like,
yeah, I know, I get that.
Other people will say, and I heard Dave say this, like when Dave said this in a Chris Van Vliet interview, like a 4.75 is basically a 5-star match, and people are like, well, just round the number then.
Yeah, see, I've never liked the 0.25, 0.75. I can understand giving something a 4.5, because if you go, that was an awesome, amazing, great match, but there was just one thing that I felt was off, then yeah, you give it a 4.5. But I've never liked the quarter stars. I say give it a whole or a half. That's my opinion. But then that's also why I don't rate matches. I'll just tell you if I liked it, if I thought it was okay, or if I didn't like the match. As we do with our polls. Liked it, it was all right. Didn't like it. That's all you really need. I don't know. But then he finally talks about his upcoming opponent, Bryan Danielson. He said the only way Bryan Danielson has any chance to beat him is by grounding the aerial assassin. Many have tried, but all failed. Except Danielson is a living legend. So Ospreay can't call himself the greatest in the world until he pins him. He said, this is AEW. We're the best wrestle. And I'm like, they're really sticking with that line? When people are over here on Twitter going, man, this felt like a WCW show, and then they're using that line, we're the best wrestle, that sounds just like WCW, where the big boys play. It literally sounds like the same thing. Yeah, this show felt like WCW. Anyways, he said, AEW, we're the best wrestle, and it's Ospreay's time to show everybody what he's about and what he brings to the table and why he's the ace of AEW. Danielson will find out at Dynasty why his name is Will Ospreay and why he's on another level. I mean, the second half of this promo was good, but it pulled me out of it after the whole, he's got to mention Triple H. Triple H, I don't even think was talking about Will Ospreay. Maybe he was mentioning Will Ospreay, but I think it was a broader thing of, you've got all these younger names, younger talent that maybe we would like to sign, but they want to go over there because they only have to work 1 day a week. I don't know if he was referencing, Will Ospreay or not. I know when Triple H was giving this little deal or whatever comments on Pat McAfee show, the crowd behind him was chanting for MJF, but it's a whole thing. Any other thoughts on it?
Not really, no.
And then finally we get past all this and we just get the rest of Dynamite, which was just an okay show. The rest of this was just all right.
That was a dumpster fire, honestly.
Oh yeah, no, there was some bad stuff on here. Like, what the hell was that Stardom? Again, we'll get to it when we get to it, but like, I don't watch Stardom. I keep up with Stardom as far as like I know who certain people are, and like I know who the top Stardom stars are and who's got belts for the most part. But like,
I know nothing about Stardom.
This girl came out and just had such an awkward moment with Mariah May, and then she kissed her and she was feeding her champagne. We'll get to it. We got a couple other things to talk about first. So there's a video package hyping up Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale for Dynasty TBS title on the line. We then had Hook, Chris Jericho, and Katsuyori Shibata against Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, and Anthony Ogogo. Now I get it. Shibata signed with AEW because they're actually going to let him wrestle. New Japan really didn't want him to wrestle. But this is the kind of bullshit we're doing with Katsuyori Shibata. God damn, this sucked. This sucked. This was 6 men, and it was all about 2 men not getting along during the match. Lion Hook. So they said that this match is presented by Woo Energy. It's the Woo Energy match of the night. Shivani tells us this is Ogogo's first match on Dynamite since 2021. Moriarty was taken down early by Jericho. There's a lion salt that connected for her too. Jericho hit a bad-looking drop kick, and then he dished out a series of clotheslines and chops until a corner hurricane rana connected. Shibata made the tag and absolutely just destroyed Moriarty with chops until Taylor tagged in and hooked it as well. Ogogo got a cheap shot in to allow Taylor to connect with the lariat to stay in control during a commercial break. When things did return, Hook delivered a massive overhead suplex on Taylor as Shibata made the hot tag and ran wild with kicks, chops, forearms, and a corner running drop kick from Shibata that got a 2. Jericho unintentionally took a stray shot from Shibata and dropped him to the floor. Hook wanted to make the tag, but Jericho pulls him to the floor. I'm like, what? Start talking about the learning tree. And so they're arguing on the floor. Jericho literally pulled his own teammate off the apron. So Shibata's in the ring all by himself. He's sinking a choke on Moriarty, but Taylor comes in and fires off a right hand, leading to Moriarty connecting with the suplex flatliner and, pinning Shibata to pick up the win. Hook then jumps in the ring to check on Shibata. Jericho's upset and just leaves. This was ridiculous. This was stupid, dumb. What? Thoughts?
No. I mean, this was pretty bad.
Yeah, it sucked.
Like, what are they doing with Shibata, honestly?
I don't know. I just know that he signed with AEW because Tony said he'll let him wrestle. Or New Japan was like, we'll let you grapple, but no shots to the head. You can't do this. Because if you remember a couple years ago, we had that match at Wrestle Kingdom where it was supposed to be
Okada?
Well, no. Not the one where he got hurt. I'm talking about like 2 years ago at Wrestle Kingdom. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he wrestled Ren Narita, but they called it a grappling match, like an exhibition, to where they couldn't really do wrestling moves. And New Japan's like, you got 20 minutes, you can go out there and just grapple and have some fun. But they were never going to let him actually have a real match. Tony Khan brings him in and was like, oh yeah, I'll let you wrestle and do whatever you want in your matches. Again, what have we heard in the past? Tony don't care about, and this may be the wrong thing to say, but Tony doesn't care when people are hurt. to the point where if you're hurt, he's still gonna be like, just go do the match. So it's like AEW doesn't want Shibata to wrestle because they don't want him to get hurt again and this and that, and maybe Japan doctors haven't cleared him. I don't know. I don't know what the whole situation is, other than New Japan wants him to be very careful, and Tony said you can go do whatever you want. As we know, Shibata can get in the ring and go. We've seen it now how many times between all of his AEW and Ring of Honor matches. But yeah, I don't know. We go to the back. Renee Paquette's there with the natural Dustin Rhodes. Is that Samoa Joe? Even though he was attacked earlier by Swerve, he's cleared to compete. And I'm like, well, no shit. He barely did anything. Yeah, he went through a table, but Joe's taking way less beatings than that, or way worse beatings than that. Anyways, Rhodes says this doesn't change his strategy, as he still has nothing to lose but everything to gain. This time, this is the time for taking it over. Grit, work ethic, passion, glory. It's what Rhodes is all about, and that's why tonight is no different. Then we got Kazuchika Okada against some guy that I didn't even catch his name. Did you get this guy's name? Because I didn't. I think they called him like Cristino or Cristiano. I don't know. Chris something. I didn't get his name. No, I didn't get the guy's name though.
I could try looking that up real quick.
It's probably on Twitter or whatever. But Okada no-sold a few shots here before clubbing his opponent with shots and then going for an air raid crash. Okada almost looked kind of bored during this match as he dared his opponent to do something. This resulted in more no-selling, and there was a picture-perfect drop kick from Okada. Rainmaker connected, and he picked up the easy victory. So not much here. Post-match, Okada took the mic and said, Pac, I accept your challenge at Dynasty. So it's going to be Pac challenging Okada for the Continental Championship at Dynasty. Pac would then make his way out on the stage. He applauded Okada before pacing back and forth. Pac was to head down to the ring and was attacked by the Young Bucks. From here, the Young Bucks threw him into the ring. They go on the attack of the other opponent. They start posing, and the crowd does the thing. They chant, CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. So they hit super kicks on the other guy. Okada then throws a chair at the side of the head of Pac, where Pac barely gets his hand up to block it, before FTR would run down and try to make the save. FTR tried to make the save, and they have a slugfest with the Bucks. FTR wanted to go for the Shatter Machine, but Okada came back and hit some chair shots on Harwood and Wheeler. The Bucks then did double EVP triggers on both members of FTR, while Okada hit a chair shot to the side of the head, Pac again, and then there was a big beatdown. So I assume this is going to lead to some sort of a six-man or trios match before the pay-per-view. The Elite versus FTR and Pac. Any thoughts on all this?
I mean, Okada versus Pac should be a very awesome match, honestly.
Yes. 100%.
Also, check your Twitter DMs, because I just sent you something that Ariel Helwani just tweeted like 40 minutes ago.
Uh-oh. Since we've been live. Jeez. All right, hold on. I'm going to pull this up on the screen. So he reposted the video from Punk, from his show, but didn't post the AEW footage. And so he tweeted out this. I'll zoom in a little bit so we can read it better. Not very nice. Some lawyer out of Jacksonville got my account locked momentarily and DMCA'd the video I posted, which contained CCTV and interview footage from my show. Just felt like the CCTV needed some narration, you know. Anyways, here's Punk, seemingly very accurate. PHB. What's PHB? Or BP? PBP. As a dyslexic person, P's and B's together like that confuse the shit out of me sometimes. What's PBP mean? I see you're looking something up.
Picture by picture.
Oh, okay, gotcha. But yeah, I wouldn't say it was a lawyer, because I know how the DCMA stuff works with YouTube. Basically, just whoever runs the AEW social media account reached out to Twitter and was like, hey, this is our footage. They can't air it. DMCA, copyright claim. So I don't think it was a lawyer per se, but whatever. Funny as shit, though, that he just responded and reposted it. I'm going to retweet that as well in case you guys didn't see it or want to go see it later. But yeah, that's amazing. So anyways, any thoughts? You said Okada versus Pac should be really good. Any other thoughts?
I mean, I know Pac probably isn't going to win because I think they're probably going to have Okada hold that belt till like Kenny comes back and they'll have Kenny beat him.
Oh, and I see you sent me the guy's name. Cristiano Argento. Cristiano Argento.
Yeah, that's the guy's name. And I think they're probably going to have Okada hold that belt till Kenny comes back, and I think they'll have Kenny beat him for the belt.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, Okada versus Pac should be pretty good match. Possibly match of the night for Dynasty. I don't know, because it could be Danielson versus Ospreay as well.
Okay. But I don't know if this is in response to Dynamite, but Sean Spears posted a tweet about an hour ago. And it's just of a guy throwing a medicine ball at a wall and then the medicine ball coming back and hitting the guy and knocking him on his ass. I'll throw it up here on the screen. I don't know if this is in reference to Dynamite or anything, but this was Sean Spears tweeted at 6:28 p.m. Not about 30 minutes, about the same time Punk posted his thing on Instagram. So I don't know if it's in response to Dynamite, but yeah. I don't know what that's in response to, but I've had 3 people send that to me now going, is this anything? I don't know. Let's get back to Dynamite. We have footage of the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass attacking the Bullet Club Gold at Supercard of Honor. We then see they do a recap of crushing Darby Allin's arm and successfully defending the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team titles last weekend at the pay-per-view. White putting the biggest beatdown on Billy Gunn. White said that he's really ready to do it again on Rampage. And not against Billy, thankfully, against someone. Austin and Colton lined up. So, yeah. Jay White's going to face, I think they said Matt Sydal later on. Then we get Timeless Tony Storm and Thunder Rosa in a Timeless Tony Storm's Charleston Championship Champagne Toast. Say that 5 times freaking fast. Charleston Champagne, I already fucked it up once. Charleston Championship Champagne Toast. Yep, nope. So Renee Paquette introduces Thunder Rosa to the stage, who was followed out by Storm and Luther. Storm sided the shot with black and white, which I do like that they do that stuff. That's cool. Paquette and Rosa were in color. Everyone had champagne. Paquette gives Storm the floor, but she immediately tosses the drink in her face and clocks her with Luther's tray. Storm wipes the face paint off of Rosa as Deonna Purrazzo runs out to make the save, with Luther standing between the two. Purrazzo helps Rosa, who shoves off the assist, which Purrazzo says, screw it, and leaves. Commentary said that Rosa must not want the help. And yeah, this was kind of weird and wacky, and referees checked on Thunder Rosa. Mariah May then came out. Toni Storm kissed her, and then she went to have her match with Anna Jay. This was weird. I don't know what this was supposed to be.
The whole Mariah May and like Toni Storm stuff is kind of weird, honestly.
How so? Because she looks so much like her? Or just weird in general?
Kind of just weird in general. Like, ever since the stuff they did on Collision.
True.
I know a lot of people were kind of like freaking out over it. Like, oh my God. But it's like, where are they going with this?
It was cool once or twice, but now it's just like, yeah, whatever. So then we got Mariah May versus Anna Jay. This match was all right. It wasn't bad or anything. Just a standard TV match. Both ladies took turns firing off chops as May's echoed louder through the building. Jay turned to forearms and took control before briefly until May hit a sliding trip. Anna Jay then sidestepped the shotgun dropkick and delivered a flipping neck breaker and kind of like a ripcord forearm. May backed Jay to the corner, licked her hand, and hit a double chop before a standing head scissors sent Jay flying to the mat. Jay regained control with a neck breaker through the ropes. May responded quickly with a forearm that sent Jay to the outside during a commercial break. After the break, Jay hit her running corner spin kick and a Kano slam for a near fall. May sidestepped a corner charge and hit a high kick before a top rope drop kick connected. There was some sweet cheek music, but Jay kicked out. Jay floated over and hit a thrust kick, followed it up with a flatliner for another near fall. Jay wanted the gory bomb, but May rolled through and got the flash roll-up victory. Just pinned her out of nowhere. So then after the match, a frustrated Anna Jay went for the Queen Slayer and tried to choke out Mariah May until Stardom's Mina Shirakawa would run out to make the save. Anna Jay said, "I'll need to be here for all of this," and she runs off. She just leaves. She literally just jumps out and goes, "Yeah, I'm done. Whatever. Cool." Caliber then talked about how May and Shirakawa reunited at Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honor this past weekend, as they are former tag team partners and stablemates of Club Venus in Stardom. Shirakawa then asked for 2 glasses of champagne. She went over to Mariah May and kind of like cradled her like a baby. She had her glass of champagne. She had the other glass of champagne. She started putting it into the mouth of Mariah May like she was giving her baby a bottle. And Mariah May was kind of like, "Ooh, champagne. I like this." And then she kisses her. Shirakawa kisses her. Plants a big old wet one on her. And that was it. What? What the shit was this? I don't know what I watched. I don't know what any of this is. Again, I don't watch Stardom, so I had heard that they're tag partners or whatever. They were in the same stable, same faction, same group. But it's like, I bet you most of the AEW audience had no clue who this lady was and what the hell was going on.
No, I don't think anyone really knew who she was, because I don't think that many of the American audience really watches Stardom.
Well, I mean, there's going to be a good amount, like a decent amount that would know.
I don't.
But I'm just saying,
know.
I'm saying there's going to be, if I put a number on it, I would say 90% probably didn't. Maybe 10% did. It's probably lower than that.
Probably just like those really hardcore fans that watch like all wrestling, even like outside of America.
I'm going to say, I watch a lot of wrestling. I watch most New Japan stuff. I watch all of AEW, most AEW. I watch all of WWE. I'll, for the most part, try to watch not every TNA show. Like, I don't watch the weekly, but I'll try to catch the pay-per-views and stuff. I watched a lot of the GCW stuff over the weekend. Bloodsport was awesome. But it's like, I keep up with, but don't really follow Stardom. So this just was like, whoosh, over my head. Then Alex Marvez is interviewing Mercedes Moné. He's like, "I'm here with Mercedes Moné, and you say you want to make history at Double or Nothing, where you want to challenge for the AEW TBS Championship, where you will make your debut." And I'm like, they really just told us she ain't going to have a match until Double or Nothing, and it's going to be a title match? At least put her in a tag or squash match or something. Moné said that she's a game changer. And it doesn't matter if it's Julia or Willow who the champion is. And I'm like, game changer. What has she changed? What game has she changed in AEW? I've seen Ospreay do some great stuff. I've seen Okada do some great stuff. What the hell has Mercedes done? Nothing. Marvez asked her to elaborate, and Moné brought up her match about a year ago with Willow, where she got injured. And she says she lost her chance to be the first ever NJPW Women's Champion. Moné said that she's now on a mission to be the TBS champion at Double or Nothing, and was about to answer who she would really like to face between the two, and the lights went out. We heard a panic, we heard a tussle, and then when the lights come back on, well, she's laid out on the mat or on the floor. We don't see who actually attacked her. You would assume maybe Julia Hart, because that's, a House of Black thing, but we don't know for sure.
I can see it being Willow, honestly.
Right? I was thinking that too. They want us to think it's Julia, but it's really Willow.
I can see it.
Yeah. So I don't know. Segment was okay. It was just there. And Marvez was just, Marvez. So we go to our main event. Samoa Joe against Dustin Rhodes in an eliminator match. I saw so many people on Twitter, whether this was fans or people that write blogs and articles for different wrestling news websites, that say, oh, it looks like the title match ain't happening, or the title match has been delayed. What title match? This was not for the AEW World title. The title was not on the line in this match between Joe and Dustin. Anyways, good match.
I've never understood the point of eliminator matches.
Well, I mean, WWE does it too, where it's like, hey, this person's going to fight the champion in a non-title match. Maybe it can elevate them to a shot. I don't know.
You don't really need to call it eliminator. I mean, that's kind of like common sense. If someone pins a champion, then you automatically get a title shot.
But if you remember, right before COVID, Vince started doing that. Where he was calling them, what was he calling them? Championship challenger matches? Or Vince had a name for them too, where it was like Charlotte Flair was SmackDown Women's Champion, and whenever somebody would face her on SmackDown, they had a special name for it, or they would do it on Raw. And WWE did it too before the pandemic, so it's like I can't knock AEW too hard because it's not like they're so just call it a non-frickin' title match. That's all you got to do. To say it's non-title. Anyways, I like the match. I thought it was pretty good. Joe came out with Swerve's chain. He was also limping. Rhodes attacks right at the bell. He hit some corner strikes. Joe tossed Rhodes to the outside and drove him into the barricade. But Rhodes battled back. Joe was right back in the corner, hosting Rhodes, who bled as we went to a commercial break. I'm like, oh, damn, Dustin bleeding. Okay. So during the break, it was all Joe. Rhodes tried to battle back, but was busted open even more. Joe, at one point, was literally doing, and I don't have fake head here, he was literally going like this, squeezing Dustin's head, and just more blood kept coming out. I'm like, God damn. He's just trying to make him bleed more. He's literally, like, he had Dustin, like, sometimes, like, when you'll see, you got the wrestler down, you're from behind, and they do the thing where, like, they wrench the neck. Well, he was kind of doing that, but squeezing at the same time. I was like, oh, fuck. So, come back from the break, and Joe kept just pounding down shots on Dustin, firing off shots. Eventually, it's a snap power slam. Rhodes does fire up with a flip-flop and fly in the elbow, and then hits a super good-looking code red, like a perfect code red, and gets two off of it. Joe dodged a bulldog and clobbered Rhodes with the lariat that sent him to the outside. Joe tried to post Rhodes again, but this time Rhodes turned the tables and sent Joe into the post before tossing the AEW World title into the ring. The referee then pleaded for him not to use it, and Rhodes put the title down and booted Joe and then hit a crossroads for a 2. Joe went to the corner and suckered Rhodes in with a charging STO. Joe then grabbed the chain, and the ref took it away, allowing Joe to deck Rhodes with the belt. Joe made the cover and picked up the stolen victory, as you would say. He cheated to win. He then put in the Kikina clutch. Swerve ran down to make the save. Out of nowhere, he hits the house call kick. Strickland grabbed the chain, leveled Joe with a couple punches. He then whipped Joe with the chain. Joe bailed. Security kind of got in the way, separated the two, and Strickland posed with the belt as a showing off the air. And Joe stared him down, doing the great. I love when Joe does the thing where he's up on the ramp, just yelling back down to the ring. It's so good. An enraged, crazed Joe is so good. But what do you think of all this?
The match was good. I'll say that. I thought the match was pretty good, but Honestly, I'm just not a fan of like the eliminator matches because like, has anyone ever won those like besides the champion? In my opinion,
I want to say there was one with like the TNT title on the line. I think it was the one Cody had the TNT belt, but I can't remember who.
because like I can't remember like a single one who's won that was against either the world champion or like the men's world champion or the women's world champion. I can't remember.
Wait, didn't Copeland lose one to? And I could be wrong here. Didn't Copeland lose one to Garcia? Because like Christian screwed him or something. No, that was a double DQ. If I'm thinking now, that may have been a double DQ. I think I could be wrong, but no, I like the match. I thought it was good. Also, if you guys are watching on Twitch, the poll is now live. AEW did announce some stuff for a couple upcoming shows. As far as Rampage does go, Orange Cassidy will be taking on Alex Reynolds. Switchblade Jay White will take on Matt Sydal, and Julia Hart will defend the TBS Championship against Layla Hirsch. This is something. Oh, and Cool Hannah Ange will take on Zach Knight. This is something I don't really care for. If you have a title match already set, why is the champion defending against somebody else that didn't earn it? Why did Willow have to win a 4-way number 1 contenders match to get a shot at the TBS Championship, and Layla Hirsch just gets a random ass shot on Rampage? Tell me the logic in that. Like, is there any logic in that? Serious question, Luke. Is there any logic in that?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking to the chat, but yeah, I mean, no, there's no logic in that whatsoever.
I hate that when they have somebody earn a title shot, and then like, well, that shot's not going to be for 5 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks, and then 2-3 other people get title shots in between that didn't even earn it. It's so dumb. Speaking of, you don't like eliminator matches, there's an eliminator match this weekend. It's Roderick Strong, the international champion, against Rocky Romero in an eliminator match. I know this weekend's a Battle of the Belts and Collision, so there's a 3-hour block. Did they say, and I don't know if you know, because I didn't catch this, if the Roderick Strong Rocky match is Collision or Battle of the Belts? I assume since it's an eliminator, it's Collision. Is Battle of the Belts?
If it's an eliminator, it has to be Collision, but if it is Battle of the Belts, you're like automatically it's a title defense.
Right, that's what I was thinking too. And then next week on Dynamite, Adam Copeland and Willow Nightingale against Brody King and Julia Hart.
And that's another thing. Like Battle of the Belts doesn't even matter anyway, because like has anyone ever like won a belt on Battle of the Belts besides like it like Sammy Guevara?
Well, yeah. So it was supposed to be Sammy versus Cody. Cody was not medically cleared to compete, so they crowned an interim TNT champion, Dustin versus Sammy, and Sammy won the belt.
That was like the last time though. Like no one even cares because everyone knows like, oh, this person's not winning the belt.
Yeah. I don't know. But with that, that is everything that took place tonight on AEW Dynamite. You know what we thought of the show. We. Now it's time to hear what you guys thought of tonight's Dynamite. Go over here and refresh all these polls. I actually like double, triple check this time because I've been running polls recently and then they didn't want to post. And so I like double, triple checked that this community poll and the threads poll actually went. As far as the threads poll does go, 47% liked the show. That's a low number. That's one of the lowest we've gotten. 28% didn't like the show. And 25% thought it was just all right. As far as the X poll does go, damn. As far as the X poll does go, with 72 votes, 68% didn't like the show. 16% thought it was just all right, and 15% liked it. Looking at the YouTube community poll, with over 440 votes, 60% didn't like it, 26% did, and 14% thought it was just all right. Some of the comments here, this person says, was so cringe. The footage was a backstage scuffle, and then Ospreay with the speech taking a shot at Triple H. Person here says, worst Dynamite ever. This person says, Swerve is finish his story for the title. Person says, may honestly be the worst Dynamite in company history. CM Punk was right. Person says, Will Ospreay just confirmed that he will be back on the Indies and in Japan in 5 years when AEW was out of business. I wouldn't. No, you can't say that because the shots Cody took at WWE. He smashed a throne with a sledgehammer, and he's in WWE as the champion. So, yeah.
You know what's funny about that?
Oh,
he said in an interview that him and Triple H never spoke about that ever since Cody returned to WWE.
right. Why would they need to? Damn. Looking at the live poll with over 135 votes, 55% didn't like Dynamite, 31% liked Dynamite, and 14% thought it was just all right. Overwhelming people didn't like this show. Also, 5 people voted on Twitch, 6 people voted on Twitch, 67% liked it, 33% didn't. So yeah, overwhelming people didn't like this show. Wow. What's up?
I sent you one last thing on Twitter that someone made. I think it was like Forbes. I think there was one website that was like posting like the results of like Dynamite.
All right, hold on, I'm going. Yep, this is from Forbes. Now here's the thing. I believe anybody can post on Forbes. Anybody can write an article and put it up on Forbes as long as you make an account. But we'll pull this up on the screen really fast. This is funny. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to find the actual article real fast. Forbes, AEW Dynamite, April 10, 2024. Here we go. Forbes is a tricky one because like they have a lot of ads and they want you to pay and this and that, but this is what Luke is referencing. Come on, Forbes. Here we go. This is what Luke is referencing right here. Forbes posted the results for Dynamite. It says Edge defeated Penta, which is funny right there. Edge. No, it's not Edge. It's Adam Copeland. Defeated Penta Zero Miedo. AEW TNT Championship. And then it says CM Punk defeated Jack Perry. Backstage footage from AEW All In 2023. That is pretty funny. Both of those actually, because they still write Edge, whoever wrote this, and then they put CM Punk defeated Jack Perry.
Yeah. Like they're basically just trolling AEW.
Let me see who wrote this. Hold on. Is this what? Oh. Yeah, this guy posts a lot of troll stuff on Twitter anyways.
That's still kind of funny, though.
No, it is. It's very funny. With that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Luke, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me over at Twitter X at Petke_21, and you can also find me over at Twitch at YoungGrasshopperLuke.
With that, guys, have a great rest of your night. We'll be back Friday for SmackDown. Have a good one. See you next time, guys.